Miracles. We all need miracles. Every individual needs miracles. Yeah, miracle is an effect or extraordinary event in the physical world that surpasses all known human or natural powers, and it is ascribed to a supernatural cause. In other words, it is an extraordinary event manifesting divine intervention in human affairs. Human beings are such that we are created in the image of God, and so we are powerful. We have the strength to create. We have the ability to make sure that our environment is conducive. We do a lot to make sure that our environment is safe for us to live. And so each and everyone has a dream, has some goals that he or she would want to achieve. However, sometimes we find ourselves in some situations where efforts are exerted and they all produce something, but nothing solves the problems that we find ourselves in or what we aim to possess in the future. And so when it happens like that, our innate vulnerability begins to wail for divine intervention. And that is the reason we all need miracle in our lives. And so I remember last Saturday, we were going somewhere and I found myself among my youth members. And so I asked the question that who really understands miracle? And immediately I said that, I saw some of them grinning, and one even asked me that, Pastor Patrick, is there something that you want to do for me? Is there anything that you have to surprise me by way of miracles, which will make me joyous? I smiled and I didn't fault her, because anytime you mention miracle, every individual begins to think about what he or she has been dreaming of and is yet to achieve and is wishing to have by way of some intervention from our God or from our God through another human being. And so we all look forward to experience miracle in our lives. But today, I want you to begin to look through the lenses from a different direction so that we will cause our environment to be a better place for ourselves to live in. So journey with me as I go through this scripture, Luke chapter 7, verse 11 to 17. Soon after he was on his way to a town called Nain, his disciples and a large crowd were traveling with him. Just as he neared the gate of the town, a dead man was being carried out. He was his mother's only son, and she was a widow. A large crowd from the city was also with her. When the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her and said, "Don't cry." Then he came up and touched the open coffin, and the pallbearers stopped. And he said, "Young man, I tell you, get up." The dead man sat up and began to talk, and Jesus gave him to his mother. Then fear came over everyone, and they glorified God, saying, "A great prophet has risen among us, and God has visited his people." This report about him went throughout Judea and all the vicinity. I want us to take note of two characters in this text that we have read, so that we will speak on it for us to know the reason for this video. You realize that the text spoke about Jesus Christ and also a widow. I want us to pay attention to the widow. Anytime we mention the word widow, obviously we get to know that it is a woman who has lost the husband. And you and I can testify that looking at the responsibilities that our fathers do play in the family setting, in their demise, it becomes a heavier load on our mothers. And so we realized that that woman was in that condition. And the only hope that she had was in the son, the only son that she had. Unfortunately, this only son that the woman had hope in also died. This same son was the only person that the woman had some confidence in, had some hope in, saw this son to be the husband, saw this son to be the provider, saw this son to be the one to bring her comfort. This same person died. And so just imagine the condition of this woman. No one could stop her from crying. She was wailing. Looking at the text, she was wailing. Nothing could stop her. And I kind of understand her. The reason is simple. If there was anything that she could have done, she wouldn't have wasted time to cry. She would have done that thing to solve her situation. But unfortunately, there was nothing she could do. All that she could do was to exert the pain that she was in out through shedding tears. That was the situation of the woman. Out from nowhere, Christ was also journeying to the same town. And so Christ saw the woman, and people around the woman, they were all crying, shedding tears, wailing. The scripture says that Christ had compassion on the woman. And let's look at the reason Christ had compassion. Christ saw the situation of the woman. And so in his mind, the woman needed a miracle. Christ saw that the woman was helpless, and so she needed some help. There is one thing that I want us to take note here. The woman did not complain anything to Christ. Nobody with the woman went to Christ to complain about the situation of the woman. But Christ himself, standing afar, seeing the situation of the woman, he had compassion on the woman. And so the scripture says that he stepped up to go forward to touch the open coffin and commanded the dead man or the dead son to come back to life. And that became the miracle that the woman needed. This is what I want to draw your attention to. Beloved, anytime we mention miracle, we all begin to think about what we can get. Can we flip the coin the other way around? Can we turn the table the other way around and become the miracle that others are looking for? Can you become a miracle to somebody? Looking at the situation of the woman, she needed help. She needed some intervention. And Christ was there to provide it for her. Can you become a miracle to somebody? Just as we have started the week, what can you do to become a miracle to somebody? Let me tell you the truth. The people around us, we see them smiling, but a lot of them are going through some challenges that it will take your effort, my effort, to extricate them from that situation. And so what can you do to become a miracle to somebody? As we are talking right now, and as you go to work and return, there is somebody that you can extend that act of kindness to. And that will be the elevation the person needs from that pit that he or she finds himself or herself. Can you become that miracle to the person? It will surprise you that somebody just needs 100 Ghana cedis to start a business. Sachet water business. And if you are touched to extend that kindness, that will become the miracle in the life of the person, and it will turn the life of the person around for good. In most cases, it's not even about money. Sometimes your care alone, sometimes your time, sometimes your expression, vocal expression to the person, making the person feel loved, making the person feel significant in our environment, is just enough to be a miracle to such a person. And so, beloved, as we go through this week, as we prepare ourselves to end the year, I want this to become a challenge to us. Can you become a miracle to somebody? As you are listening to me right now, can you become a miracle to me by way of just clicking the share to share this video, by way of following this page, by way of subscribing to my channel, and bring a lot of people on board to subscribe to this channel so that we can all study and grow? That will become a great miracle to me. Become a miracle to somebody. A lot of things are going on in our environment, in the lives of some people, and because sometimes people become hopeless, they resort to suicide. They resort to other things that will rather complicate their situation. But imagine if you show that care, you show that love, just as Christ did for the woman. You would change the position of such a person to a brighter life. It's a challenge. Become a miracle to somebody. And I believe that as you become a miracle, as I become a miracle, as somebody also become a miracle to myself and to you, we all build ourselves up and we get closer in achieving our goals. And in larger extent, we create a conducive environment for growth and development. Become a miracle to somebody. God bless you. Before I let go of you, if you're new here and you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do well to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video and leave comment below. If you're on Facebook, please do well to follow this page. Leave your comment, like it, and share as well to other people. All those who commented, liked, and shared my previous video, all that I'm saying is that God bless you. I really appreciate it. Please do same to this video. Let's share. Let's get a lot of shares, a lot of comment, a lot of likes, and I believe that it will help this channel to grow. God bless you and see you in the next video.